When I first started lifting weights, not even bodybuilding, I had absolutely no idea it would evolve to this point. I have been lifting weights for a total of 34 years. I started when I was 21 years old. I'm now 55. And I've been competitive since 1984. My inspiration for starting bodybuilding actually came from, believe it or not, my father. I was a very skinny, emaciated, Ethiopian ghetto stepchild looking kind of kid. I graduated at 5'11" high school, weighing all of 132 pounds, skin and bones. I started lifting weights about a year into joining the military because I wanted forearm development and upper arm development like my dad. When I went back home, I wanted to be able to show my dad that I could build a body. And then when I did a bodybuilding contest, and I got second, and I had to win. So I went back a year later and I won. Then, like any athlete, I had to win again. My daughters support me. They marvel at the longevity of me doing this. They marvel at the fact that at 55 years old, I'm still looking like this. Michael Jordan doesn't play basketball anymore. Muhammad Ali doesn't box. We all reach a point in which we can no longer do what we love to do and what we're good at doing. There will reach a point where I will no longer step on stage. Every year when I compete, I look at the pictures, I look to see if I've still got it, and I would hope that I'm smart enough to recognize when it's time for me to hang it up. That is going to be a hard pill to swallow because it's kind of like the person that retires. I don't know what I'm going to do then. I view bodybuilding as both an art and a sport. When I am on stage, I think of my performance as fun.
Everybody come together, let's go, yo. Hey, I'm feeling alright, just one of them days, everything go right now. Like to keep this vibe throughout the day, if that's okay. Yo, I'm feeling so outrageously good, so fresh, bring the vibe the only way that I could. Cause it's a new day, new walk for me, and possibly this is a whole new start for me. So yo, hey, I'm feeling good like I'm in Hollywood. Hey, I feel on top of the world now.
The interpretation of a basic pose, that's an art form. That's how do you move, how do you flow, how do you interpret a song, a routine, how do you take a pose that's just a straight on front double biceps and make it look classical like Frank Zane or Leela Brada. I mean, the competition is a kick too. Yes, I want to win. I plan on winning. I hope to win. But nobody remembers whether you won or lost. After a week or two after the show is over with, everybody forgets that. They never forget a great posing routine. Never. The fear, the anxiety, the nervousness, the excitement hits as soon as I step out of the car. It's like, here we go. Okay. As soon as you check in and they give you your number, first question out of your mouth, so how many's in my class? You're looking down there to see. And then when you see how many's in your class, you want to know if there's anybody you recognize. Is anyone going to be competition for you? You know, how you looking? That's the question just about every bodybuilder asks another bodybuilder. How you looking? We all ask that same question. So you dialed in for this? You ready for this? What class you going in? All those questions come out, you know, and you can tell those that are really nervous, they're just like constantly looking all around and trying to take it all in, first, second, third time competitors. And then someone like me, I try and be cool. I try and be like, old hat, this ain't no big deal, you know. But inside I'm churning just like everybody else.
The first pose for men and women will be the front double bicep. Does she look good? Yeah, she looks good. For off season, she looks great.
If you're one of the first competitors, you immediately go backstage, you start pumping up. Got to get your oil on. I'm lucky. Being black, I don't have to worry about stripping down until the last possible moment. So I get to have a great pump up backstage because I'm warm, I sweat, I get all this extra water out of me, and I strip down. I'm nice and lean and dry and hard, vascular, veiny. I put my oil on, I walk out on stage. Every contest, I wonder if I'm doing the right thing by getting up there. Every contest, I fear that I'm going to get up there and embarrass myself. But I use that fear to push me, to drive me, to get me to do more than what I believe my competition would do. So fear is a great, for lack of a better word, motivator for me. It really does push me. I don't want to embarrass myself. And when I'm afraid that I'm going to embarrass myself, I work harder. When I'm afraid that I'm not going to look that good, I work harder. That's what I do. Insecurities, they're always there. They're always going to be there. I still get nervous. I still get anxious. It may not look like that, but inside I'm churning butterflies just like anybody else. Just as much as the first-time competitor, and I've done probably 150 shows, and I still get nervous. As I line up, you're trying to figure out who's got it. As soon as you walk off stage, first thing you want to do, you want to find a friend. You want to find somebody you know. How'd I look? What do you think? And what do you think is simply, how did I place? We all want to know that. Once you get past that, the contest is over after prejudging. I'm not worried about the night show. To me, there's no pressure at nighttime because the contest has already been judged. So once I've been judged, I'm good to go.
I see myself being able to achieve my goal of being a figure competitor. I'm going to have to be very disciplined, and that's the one aspect that I struggle most with. It can be challenging at times.
There you go.
The wisdom that I pass on to the next generation is the mental discipline that's required to be a competitor. My personal training philosophy, do your best every single day. Live the life that you're supposed to live. It's not so much the training, the cardio, the nutrition, as it is understanding that this is a mental discipline that most people cannot and will not endure. If an individual comes to me and makes a statement, I need you to motivate me to get in shape, I know I'm not going to have that client very long. That person will eventually take themselves out of the program. To me, it's not a motivation factor, it's a commitment factor. Who's committed? Who's really serious about this? Anyone can train. Everyone can walk into a gym and do something. It takes the right mindset to be a competitor. I did a contest, the Oregon Bodybuilding Championships in '84, and I got 11th place, middle of the road, out of 22 competitors. I absolutely, positively sucked. I looked horrible. Didn't know anything about dieting, didn't know anything about nutrition. A friend of mine, back then, came up to me after the show, and he said, "You have potential, but you need help." And I said, "You gonna help me?" He goes, "Well, that's not the kind of help I'm talking about. You need a little bit of enhancement." I said, "What are you talking about?" Because I really hadn't been exposed to anabolic steroids. He says, "Well, we got to get you on something that's going to help you grow a lot faster." And that's when I said, "Are you talking like steroids?" Because I was kind of afraid of them back then. And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Nah, man, I don't want to do that stuff, man. That mess you up. I've heard too many bad things." He goes, "Dave, it's not that bad. It won't mess you up, but it'll help you." And I was like, I don't know, man. I'm not really feeling anabolic steroids." And he said 3 words. "You want to win. And those 3 words, you want to win? That was all it took. Whenever I talk to someone on anabolic steroids, I always say those 3 words. I know what was said to you. You want to win? And that will be enough to convince you. I can give you every medical, every scientific, every emotional, every factual reason in the world to not do anabolic steroids. But if you want to win that bad and you are willing to do whatever it takes at all costs, you will go on anabolic steroids. No one will be able to talk you out of them. And how long will you stay on? Until you decide to come off. It's that simple. I was on for 2.5 years. During that period of time, I lost my wife. I lost my kids. I lost my business. I lost my home. I lost my car. Attributed to anabolic steroids? I'm not going to go so far as to say that was the reason, but I will say I took house payment money and bought drugs. I took money that I was supposed to buy groceries for my children and bought drugs. If I've learned nothing else about anabolic steroids, you don't control anabolic steroids. They control you. It's just like crack. It's just like heroin, coke, or any other recreational drug out there. You think you're in charge? Those drugs got you. They got you locked up, steroids included.